fish pie. Ah, some people do. Okay, so if you're getting fish pie or you're eating fish pie and it doesn't look like this, you're still on a long thing. Okay, today's tutorial is on fish pie. So I'm going to be giving you the best fish pie recipe you'd ever love and the best you'd ever taste. Take it from me. But before that, hello and welcome to Benedict's table. Alright, so these are the ingredients we'll be using for this fish pie. We'll be using flour, butter, unsalted butter. Then we have a salt there. We have some baking powder and cold water. Remember, we're making a short crust pastry. That is the type of dough we're making. This fish pie dough is a short crust pastry, and trust me, this is going to be the best you've ever heard because it's gonna be so buttery and flaky. You'd enjoy this. Into a bowl, you pour your baking powder and salt, and you give this a thorough mix. Give it a mix. Don't be scared. Mix it properly. Let everything be well combined because you wouldn't want to be eating a fish pie where you as you cut into this or bite into it, you eating maybe salt and one corner, like because the whole thing wasn't properly mixed. So don't be scared of mixing this. Give it a thorough mix, and then you go in with your butter and rub in that butter. We want it to look like breadcrumbs. Mind you, while mixing this butter, ensure that you use a cold butter or you can use a room temperature butter, but do not overmix this. At the end of your mixture, we should see something like the butter, if those flaky butter on it, because you're not mixing this like you're making bread. You're not mixing this. You want this to have that crunch, that flakiness to it, and this is how you go about it. Go in with your cold water, bit by bit, and bring everything together. The moment you pour in your water, you're not mixing it like you're mixing a bread dough. No, you just gently bringing all the flour together, just bringing it together for it to come together, and it should look exactly like this. Exactly like this. If you mix it to that point where everything comes together like a bread dough, I'm sorry, you won't have that crunchiness or that flakiness that you usually get from a short crust pastry. Do not overmix. This dough doesn't need so much mixing. Now we're gonna put this in a cling film and allow to rest in the refrigerator before working on it. So while this is sitting pretty in the refrigerator, we begin to work on our filling. You all know what our filling is. It's a fish pie. It doesn't need much work, doesn't need much serere. You know what I mean by serere? Yeah, it's just something simple and straightforward. Into a pan, you heat your oil and then go in with your onion. Saute this onion for a few seconds, then go in with your pepper. I'm a Nigerian and you see that heat. I can afford to mix that heat in my food, which comes from the pepper, the Scotch bonnet pepper. Next, you throw in your fish. Here I use the Titus fish. My God, this fish is very, very tasty. That is why I went with this. And don't forget to add your seasoning. Here we're just using a seasoning powder and salt. Those are the two things I use to season this. And mix it, stir it, and your fish pie filling is ready. You see how simple it is. You don't go through the whole process you go through when you're making meat pie. This is just so simple and straightforward. Now to our dough that has been in the refrigerator. Take it out of the refrigerator. Divide it into two because this is a big dough and my space is a very small one. And we're going to be working on this. This dough needs to be handled gently. When I say gently, I mean it gently. It needs to be handled gently. We're going to be rolling this dough now, rolling it out on the flour board. You see the way I'm pampering this dough? Exactly the same way you pamper your girlfriend. That is how you just handle this. On to our next big step, which is cutting the fish shape on our dough. As you can see on the screen, I did the cutting just without the aid of anything. I'm just drawing this, like picturing the shape of a fish in my head, and I'm carving it out on the dough. But if you cannot do this, if your hand isn't strong enough to do this, you can just go the easy way, and that is drawing a fish on a piece of paper and then cutting it out. Then you use the paper as a guide. Place it on the dough and cut through that dough. So that is the easy way for you to do it if you cannot do it directly the way I did. After you're done cutting out the fish shape, you apply some egg at the edges of the whole dough. And the reason we're applying this egg is because this egg serves as a glue to hold both dough together. You get, so it serves as a glue. It helps to keep it in shape so it doesn't open while in the oven. Next, we go in with our filling. Let me tell you something, guys. Be generous with the amount of filling you're putting in this. Be generous. Don't be stingy. You get me? Do not be stingy with this. This is something you're gonna eat. This is something you're making for yourself. Even if it's for commercial purpose, do not be stingy with this. So long as it tastes good, you can always recover your money by, you just give it the right price, put the right amount, and those that know the value of what you're doing will definitely come for it. At this point, we're closing our fish with the other half, and after pressing to ensure that all the edges come together, we'll use a fork to close it properly, pressing it so that it doesn't open when it gets to the oven. If you've watched to this point, please, I would like to know where you're watching from so that I can give you a shout out on my next video. So in the comment section, do well by dropping your location so that I can give you a shout out when next I make a video. And please do not forget to subscribe if you haven't, like and share this video, just so that other people will benefit from this the same way you did. Remember, I'm giving you a well-detailed tutorial on how to make fish pie, and I said if your fish pie is not fishing like this, forget about it. You're still on a long thing. I want to be cutting now the scales on the fish. So this is what I do. I use my knife to trace the line and then just cut through So this is more like making the scales on the body of the fish. This whole fish is already coming together and it looks so beautiful. You would almost think it's a real fish. Oh my dear, this fish, this one is a baked fish. A baked fish. Yeah. And I'm so excited because I've been wanting to do this for a very long time and I finally get to do this. I'm so excited and I can just wait for the outcome. Please try this recipe. You would love this. You would love it. I would love for you to try it and give me your feedback. If you're finding it difficult at any step or point, just drop me a message in the comment section and I'll reply you as soon as possible. The moment we're done with the whole carving, we would wash this and bake. We're going to be baking it at, I'm using 160 degrees, yes, for about 30 minutes or 35 minutes. So that should be enough. Yeah, that should be enough time for this to be baked. 160, it's 30 to 35 minutes. And all this temperature depends on the oven you use, the type of oven you use. So for the very one I use, I'm using 160 degree for 30 to 35 minutes. This whole fish thing is coming out beautifully well. I didn't even expect it to be this perfect. The carving looks so perfect. What kind of fish does this look like? It's giving tilapia fish, yeah. We're popping this into the oven and guys, this is the result. A dancing fish, or do I say a fish swimming in the ocean. This is so beautiful and it tastes so good. Do well to subscribe if you haven't at this point, and don't forget to share and like this video. We've come to the end of the video, and until our next tutorial, stay safe and out of trouble. Bye.